HomePod, Sonos One or Google Home? Hi, I'm GavOS and welcome to my smart speaker Roundup.
Take 3.
So first of all, welcome to the first real video on my channel. I'm going to try my hardest to get this done right. So for each speaker, I'm going to say basically the advantages of each speaker, what makes it the best in a specific category, and also some bad points about it. So where it could be improved, where it maybe falls behind the competition. And we're also going to look at pricing because that can make quite a difference to some people's opinions. Some people may want to spend less and lose maybe a couple of features. Some people want to spend more and have the full range of abilities. So I'm going to start by talking about HomePod. It is the best sounding of all three of the smart speakers. It truly is. Even at low levels, all the way through to high levels, you do get the clearest range of frequencies from your lows to your mids to your highs. That helps with its 7-tweeter array, as well as the dedicated woofer built inside, and also the spatial awareness. That does make a big difference. It has 6 microphones built inside that are analyzing the room in real time to give you the clearest frequency response to basically complement the room itself from the HomePod. As well as the spatial awareness, you are also getting 360 audio. So if you have this thing in the middle of a room, I don't know why you would have it in the middle of a room, then it's going to be heard from all angles. Something I have noticed about the HomePod is that even at the loudest volume, so when this thing is pushed to the max, it can still hear you even if you go, "Hey Siri." I guess it's obviously all to do with the fact that it's got those 6 microphones built in, obviously giving you the spatial awareness in terms of your music quality, but at the same time it does mean wherever you are and even through the music, it is actually really good at listening to you. That's one thing Apple have stuck to their word on. They really have done a good job. That said, once you are talking to it, it's not particularly the smartest speaker. So it's good at handling basic requests like, "Hey Siri, play me Red Hot Chili Peppers." So it's not really great at handling some quite specific tasks. It's not bad, it's just not great. And it's also an issue that you're locked into Apple Music. If you want to use voice controls with your music, so as I mentioned earlier, using a request like, "Hey Siri, play the Red Hot Chili Peppers," it's going to only work if you have Apple Music. The HomePod can work with other services like Google Music or Spotify, but it only works through an Apple device if you are AirPlaying to it. I kind of feel like Apple know exactly what they're doing here. There is a very niche market for this speaker. It's basically, if you own everything Apple and you're on Apple Music, this thing's going to work great. It really will. But not everyone wants to be tied into that system. Moving on to our next speaker, we are looking at the Sonos One. So this one is kind of a weird one because I'm not just going to be comparing one Sonos One. Because as of right now, Sonos are doing a deal where you can get 2 Sonos Ones for £349. That is only £30 more expensive than one of the HomePods. So if you are just looking at one Sonos One, you're still looking at £199, which is considerably less than the HomePod. And it does sound very, very good. Of course, having 2 put together, you're getting a true stereo. And Sonos does have a thing called Tune Play, but it does involve you waving your phone or your iPad or whatever device you're setting it up with around the room while it plays some weird frequency bleeps. It's not the smoothest way of tuning the speakers, but I guess you've only got to do it once. You're not really going to be moving these things about. They're not designed to be like taken around elsewhere. They're usually going to be set up in one space. So the whole real-time thing is useful, but at the same time, once you're set up, you're set up. So the other thing I love about Sonos is I think it is the best in terms of multi-room functionality. You do have that capability with the Google Homes, which we will move on to later on. But I think Sonos does the best at multi-room through its dedicated app. And what's so good about this app is that you can have any music service logged in and you can have 2 of the same accounts logged in. So as of now, Sonos only works with Alexa. Alexa is the voice assistant in which I have the least amount of experience with. So I do feel a little bit bad commenting on this. It's not as bad as Siri. It's slightly better than Siri, but to me, it's still nowhere near as good as Google Assistant. It can, of course, handle lots of voice commands, such as your music requests. Alexa, you can dial in to basically control your music connected through Spotify and other services. So you're not as locked in. You can't use Apple Music voice commands. The only Apple Music voice commands you can use are through the HomePod. But one thing I do like about the Sonos ones is that in the future, Sonos have announced, they did say 2018, so that could be any time within this year, we don't know. They will be opening up support for Google Assistant to be run on the Sonos One. So that's pretty good. Something else to make note of is, unlike the HomePod, if you've got these Sonos ones at quite a high level, they do sound really good, but that's when the HomePod really does leap ahead of the Sonos there, because the Sonos does struggle to hear you speak to it sometimes. If you've got music really loud and you're wanting to like pause the music or turn it down, sometimes it's not going to hear you. But other than that, Sonos ones, I really like them. Moving on to the last one, we're going to be looking at the Google Homes. So for the Google Homes, I'm mainly going to be focusing just on the Google Home. We're going to ignore the Google Home Mini, and I will take into account that there is a Google Home Max, but as of today, it's still not available in the UK. So Google Home, what I love about Google Home is it is the best smart speaker. Google Assistant is far beyond the competition. It's really good at handling pretty much all the requests I chuck at it, with the odd exception of a weird song. For some reason, any of the speakers I asked to play Street Living, the new single from Black Eyed Peas, none of them want to do it for me. I don't know if it's me, or please tell me in the comments if you're having the same issue. If you have a smart speaker, try it now. Let me know how you got on with it. It often takes me about 5 attempts before I get that single playing. It's really annoying. One thing that's definitely worth noting of Google Assistant is that the machine learning is really good. So if I try this now, it's basically learned to me. So when I said it wouldn't play that specific track, let's try it now. Hey Google, play Street Living.
Okay, Street Living by the Black Eyed Peas. Here it is on Spotify.
Stop that before I get copyrighted. There we go. It's learned me. It's learned certain requests, and it gets better. The more you use it, the better it's going to get, basically. Anyway, back to you in the lounge, Gav. It's a bit of a shame that the Google Home is not the best sounding. Of the three, it's probably the worst sounding, but it's a hell of a lot cheaper than all three. And if you take into account Google Home Max, this thing isn't designed purely on sound quality. The Google Home is going to fit into your kitchen a lot more comfortable than any of these speakers. It's the smallest, most compact. You can also change the way it looks. That's pretty cool. But yes, I really, really want to hear this Google Home Max. The reviews from all the US YouTubers and YouTubers from the UK who have had access to it have said it sounds very good. But what will be the best thing about the Google Home Max is you will have the sound quality of the Sonos ones and the HomePod. You'll have that same sound quality, but you'll have the best assistant. I cannot stress how good Google Assistant is. You can tie in all your accounts. It has voice recognition. Me and my girlfriend, we only have one home in the bedroom. If I say, okay Google, what's my day? It will give me my day. And if my girlfriend asks for her day, it will give her hers. My Google Home is in the bedroom about 30 feet away from me, and it just heard me. It's giving me the news. It's pretty good at hearing stuff, isn't it? Oh my God. It's giving me the headlines. Okay, Google, stop. That's ridiculous. Right, so this is ridiculously far away. Please excuse how messy our lounge is. So we've got a whole way through here, and our ceilings are really tall, so echoey rooms can be an issue. That is my Google Home right there. How the hell it heard me from the lounge is beyond me. That's ridiculous. Okay, so to do a roundup, I really can't give you a solid answer on what is the best smart speaker, because it really depends on the user. If you are locked in with Apple devices, you are happily on Apple Music, you have iPhone, iPad, Mac, Apple Watch, everything else is Apple, and you can afford the £319 for the HomePod, go for the HomePod. It sounds great, works really well. Sonos is probably the best bet for you if you already have Sonos, and if you know you like Alexa, and if you're willing to wait for Google Assistant to come out on the Sonos One. The advantage of these Sonos Ones is that you can have two for the price of $349, meaning you do get a true stereo, and you can, if you want, spread these things far apart from one end of the room to the other and have a really wide stereo. I wouldn't recommend that, maybe about 10 feet max between the two of them. You're going to get really good sound out of them. And the Google Homes are the best for their price, and they are the smartest AI. When the Google Home Max comes out in the UK, I truly think that's going to be a good competitor. It is at the moment $399, and the way their conversion rates have usually been, it looks like it might be £399. But I think if you're starting from new, I personally would recommend Google Homes. I really, really would. They work so well. And the basic Google Home does sound good enough for just general listening throughout the day. If you're a true audiophile, wait for the Google Home Max, because those you can set up as a stereo pair. So thanks for watching my video. Please let me know if there is anything you think I could improve on, and let me know if there's anything you want me to have a look at and do some deeper research into. I'm obviously fresh to making these videos, but I'm really want to enjoy doing these videos. So please, I'm very open to your suggestions. So yeah, thanks for listening, guys. Have a good one. Oh yeah, and if you could give it a thumbs up, that'd be great. Also, I'm thinking of doing an Instagram account, so if I have this set up by the time I release this, I will give a little link in the description. Make sure you click that, give that a follow. Probably gonna have a Twitter set up too, so go and follow that over there. Cheers. I've said goodbye about 4 times now. Bye. Bye.